Bermudagrass has multiple ways of reproducing and of storing food so that it can regrow if other parts are broken off. So it has what's called a rhizome, which is an underground stem that grows horizontally under the soil, and it is somewhat fat. It's not super fat, but it's fat enough for it to store food all along the length of that underground stem, and it can be very deep in the soil. The depth that things grow in soil is very dependent on soil type and the availability of oxygen and water there, but Bermudagrass has proven to be able to grow in very variable conditions, including deeper in the soil. So that's one way that it stores food. And if you break off a piece of that rhizome and put it on the soil somewhere else, it will regrow from there. It also has stolons. Stolons are another type of stem. They're stems that also store food, and they travel across the surface of the soil. I used to tell my students that stolons steal space.
Stolons steal space.
Yes, because as the stem grows across the surface of the soil, at every node, a node is where a leaf or another stem or a branch would grow, it can also grow roots. And so you can break off either side of that node and it can make itself a whole new plant. So it reproduce that way. And then, of course, it flowers. And so it produces a stalk with it looks like the ribs of an umbrella, the flower structure, and there are lots of little seeds in there, and so it can reproduce from seeds.
Looks kind of like turkey legs.
Yes, true.
By the way, for you Scrabble or Words with Friends fans, stolon, like what we're talking about here, is S-T-O-L-O-N.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. It doesn't actually have the E in it, that when someone robs you.
However,
kind of stolen.
Stolons do rob you of soil.
They rob you of soil. They rob your plants of space to grow. And then those stolons are very waxy, and they can, if you let the Bermudagrass grow, if you inherit a patch of heavily infested soil that is heavily infested with Bermudagrass, they will grow over each other. And eventually you get a layer of very waxy stems that will not allow water to penetrate. And so it's very difficult for other things to grow. So if you go to pull it out, you've left the rhizomes underground and potentially broken off the stolons where they have rooted at other places in the ground. And so it just makes more plants.
That's just crazy. Yes, Bermudagrass is forever.